Okay, so this week's discussion board, we're talking about designing a tutorial to train individuals in the use of a specific piece of software or hardware. So a few questions that I would need to know when designing a tutorial like this would be how confident and comfortable users are with other applicable software and technology that's currently in place. Secondly, the experience level with like product that the users would have. And then third, what use cases their position and day-to-day tasks come into contact with the new software and technology. All those would be really good to know and would really help you fill out a generic and a set of a few different lessons for each particular user. So starting off, all of them would probably just get a generic broad rundown of the new software and technology. And this would just help to show a need for focus on that information that's going to be provided to them. And going back to those first three questions, knowing the use cases would actually allow for me to pick up from an index of applicable like user interfaces or portions of the program that user would actually be allowed to access and would have specific needs for. You wouldn't want to waste their time teaching them something that they're not going to use day to day. And that kind of ties into the next one, where you want to get a feel for their experience level with like products. So somebody with less experience would really need a deeper introduction to the system and technology just starting out. Deeper insight into how to operate the software and technology and how it really specifically applies to their position would be more necessary. Just spelling out how to use the technology and there are certain use cases and their situations and day-to-day tasks is really important. And thirdly, the less comfortable a person is, the more in-depth training is going to have to become. That was another one of our questions there. And so knowing this, you would be able to tell if someone is comfortable with a similar technology or software. And if so, then you really wouldn't want to waste their time communicating baseline knowledge. You would really just want to hit them with the changes or improvements that the software and technology is going to provide for them. And so in its entirety, I would want to make sure that the information is relevant to all the users' current and future duties. And what I think would be effective is a tell, show, do sort of approach. So you provide them the information, and then you kind of show them how it goes, and then you give them a chance to perform it. And I think you could do this honestly in like a PowerPoint clicking, so you would have a picture of their user interface there and then give them a chance to figure out where to click. And then the next slide would be where they should have clicked, or if they clicked in the correct place, then I don't know, it would be sort of rewarding. But something I would relate this to is our earlier Cengage courses where we would kind of follow click paths and work through the Windows operating system and things like that. And that way they can just follow the instructions at their own pace, get a feel for what the user interface should look like at all times. And they would just be able to see a task completion take place while they're kind of performing operations like it might look once the completed software technologies at their disposal. And for the last question, I haven't really ever taken a tutorial route to provide training. Just recently, my current position, we went through a software conversion, and I helped perform training at a certain branch, and I was able to find that when you can relate complicated system processes to something that the user's done in the past or an analogy that they can really make easy connections with, their minds really memorize the processes and tools a lot faster. So all in all, the training that I've been giving is mostly in person and sometimes over the phone where we're both looking at the same system and the same, going through the same use cases and just finding the way to do things over the phone. So that's my experience, and those are the things I'd want to know. So yeah.